You meet a girl. The conversation flows, the vibe is great, she's laughing at everything you say. And then, out of nowhere, she goes cold. No explanation, no warning, just gone. And you're sitting there like, what did I do? Look, man, most guys never figure it out. Not because they're bad people, but because the mistakes that kill attraction aren't loud. They're quiet. They're slow. They creep in while you think things are going perfectly fine. So today we are breaking down the 7 mistakes that make women lose interest instantly. Not myths, not guesswork. Real behavioral patterns backed by psychology that show up again and again. If you've ever watched someone pull away and had zero idea why, this one's for you. Mistake number 1. Over-pursuing too hard or fast, you match with her. She responds, and suddenly you're texting her every hour, sending good morning messages, planning a future before you've even had a second date. It feels romantic to you, but from her side, it feels like pressure. Attraction needs space to breathe, it needs a little mystery. When you flood someone's phone before the emotional investment is mutual, you don't come across as devoted, you come across as needy. Attachment psychology is clear on this. Over-pursuit triggers avoidance, even in women who genuinely liked you. She starts feeling responsible for your emotions. That's not attraction. That is a burden. Pull back. Let her come toward you sometimes. Curiosity is what keeps people engaged, and you can't create curiosity when you're always right there. Mistake number 2. Making everything about yourself. Picture this. You're on a first date. She asks how your week was. Fair enough. But then 20 minutes pass and you're still talking. Your job, your gym results, your last vacation, your 5-year plan. She's nodding, but her eyes are somewhere else entirely. That's peacocking. And it kills attraction fast. Women want to feel seen. They want someone who is genuinely curious about their world. When you dominate a conversation, she doesn't feel impressed. She feels invisible and bored. Ask real questions. Listen to the answers without spinning them back to yourself. When she tells you something she's proud of, celebrate it. Don't one-up it. The guys who are actually magnetic aren't the ones talking the most. They're the ones making the other person feel like the most interesting human in the room. Mistake number 3. Being emotionally unavailable. This one's sneaky. Because a lot of guys think being laid back is attractive. And sure, don't be dramatic. But there's a huge difference between chill and emotionally absent. Women build attraction through emotional connection, through feeling understood, seen, and met where they are. If you never ask how she's feeling, if you forget things she told you, if you never open up about your own world, she's going to feel like she's having a conversation with a wall. She'll say things like, "He was fun, but it always felt shallow." That's the death sentence. Depth builds connection. Connection builds desire. If you want her to stay interested, you have to actually show up emotionally. Not all the time, but enough that she knows there's something real behind the surface. Mistake number 4. Running hot and cold. One week you're texting her constantly. She feels like a priority. The next week you disappear for 3 days with no explanation. She's staring at her phone, wondering what she did wrong. Some guys think this creates mystery. It doesn't. It creates anxiety. And women protect themselves from anxiety by pulling back. Unpredictable behavior signals one of 2 things. Either you're not that interested or you're emotionally unstable. Neither one is attractive. Real intrigue doesn't come from vanishing. It comes from having a full life outside of her. Go live that life. Stay consistent in how you treat her. You don't have to be glued to your phone, but she should be able to trust that your interest is steady. Consistency is what makes someone feel safe enough to actually fall for you. Mistake number 5. Jealousy and control. Early on, a little protectiveness can feel flattering. But the moment you start questioning who she's texting, getting weird about her male coworkers, or criticizing what she's wearing, that's not protection anymore, that's control. And nothing shuts attraction down faster. Think about it from her perspective. If a guy gets moody every time she makes plans with her friends, or interrogates her after a night out, she doesn't feel loved, she feels monitored. Real confidence means you know your value. It means you don't need to police someone to feel secure in yourself. Jealousy doesn't signal that you care deeply. It signals that you don't actually believe you are enough for her. And when she senses that, she starts to believe it too. Mistake number 6. Losing your sense of purpose and drive. This is the long game mistake. You were exciting when she met you. You had goals, hobbies, things you were chasing. Then the relationship became the only thing you were focused on. You stopped going to the gym, stopped pursuing your career, stopped doing the things that made you interesting in the first place. And she felt the shift. Women are drawn to motion, to ambition, to a man who is building something and moving somewhere. When that energy disappears, when every weekend blurs into the same couch session, attraction quietly starts to fade. Having a life outside of her isn't selfish. It's essential. Purpose is magnetic. When you stop growing, you stop being the person she was attracted to in the first place. Keep chasing something. That drive is part of what she liked about you. Mistake number 7. Letting effort disappear once you think you've locked it in. This one is so common it's almost a cliche. At the start, you were showing up fresh, planning real dates, actually engaged in conversation. But a few months in, you stop making plans. You cancel things last minute. You show up to dinner in the same stained shirt you wore to fix your car. You're half watching TV while she's trying to talk to you. She notices all of it, every single detail. Not because she's looking for flaws, but because effort was how you showed her she mattered. When effort disappears, she starts wondering if she still does. And accountability fits here too. When things go wrong, owning it is attractive. Dodging it is the fastest way to lose her respect. And without respect, there is no attraction. Look, none of this is complicated once you see it laid out. Most guys lose attraction not because they're wrong for someone, but because they slipped into patterns without realizing it. Over-pursuing, going cold, peacocking, losing purpose. These aren't character flaws, they're habits. And habits can be changed. The moment you understand what actually drives long-term attraction, you stop making these mistakes on autopilot. She doesn't need perfect. She needs consistent, emotionally present, and still growing. That's it. So if you recognized yourself in any of these, that's not a bad thing. That's awareness. And awareness is where everything changes. If you want to go even deeper and understand what actually keeps a woman emotionally invested over time, I'll be posting about it soon.